Welcome to KK Java Tutorials. In this video tutorial, we'll talk about JUnit 5 assumptions. So let's try to understand what is assumptions in JUnit 5, and finally we'll look an example to understand these assumptions, right? So let's start. So first of all, you need to keep in mind in JUnit 5, assumptions class has static methods to support conditional test execution based on the assumptions, right? So assumptions is a class which has a couple of static method, and using these assumptions we can apply some conditional test if those assumptions is going to be true or false. Based on that fact, we will decide whether test will be executed or not. Yeah. If assumption is failed, then test will be aborted. Assumptions are typically used whenever it does not make sense to continue execution of the given test method. Yeah. So based on assumptions, test will be decided whether test will proceed to run or not. JUnit Jupyter assumptions class has two such methods: assume false and assume true, right? So let's talk about first of all assume true. So as I said, assume true is basically assumptions method within the assumptions class. So directly you can call by the class name, or you can what you can do, you can statically import assume true as well as assume false, which is the next assumption we'll see. We can statically import and we can use in the test method, right? So here assume true assumptions validates the given assumption is true. If assumption is true, test proceed, otherwise test execution is aborted. So here what I'm trying to say, within the test method, what you can do, you can use assume true assumptions. If this assumptions returns true, then test execution will be continue, else test will be aborted. Yeah. Now next assumption is nothing but the assume false. So assume false assumptions validates the given assumption to false, and if assumption is false, then test proceed, right? Otherwise test execution will be aborted, and its functionality is just opposite to assume true. So this is all the overall concept, but until and unless we will not see uh, an example, this will not be crystal clear. So let's go with one example so that we'll have a crystal clear understanding, right? So here is the Eclipse, and already I have created the project. So here you can see I have a project which is called JUnit 5 assumptions example, and in pom.xml I have added JUnit Jupyter API as well as JUnit Jupyter engine, right? So which is basically prerequisite. These are the library you have to add to work with the JUnit 5, right? This is the minimum library you have to add, right? So now this library JUnit Jupyter that provides all the JUnit 5 annotations, right, and related classes to perform our testing, and JUnit Jupyter engine, which is required to run our test case at runtime, right? That provides the basically runtime environment to execute our JUnit test cases, right? That's what these two dependencies we have to add, right? So now here let me show you, I have some resources like myutils, which has a one add method which takes couple of integer parameter and adds these two parameters, and with that returns very simple class. Now I have a myutil test in src test java. Here you can see I have a test class, there I have used assumptions. So here my utils test, I have a before all, a method which is annotated with before all. So this is basically a life cycle method which is going to run only once at the beginning itself, or you can say before executing any test method. This basically this life cycle method executes. There we can do some kind of initialization, data initialization or object initialization, which is going to use by all the test cases, right, all the test methods. So now we have a before each, means this method is going to execute before every test method execution, right? And we have some more life cycle method like after each. This method is going to execute after execution of each test method. Then we have a after all. So name itself indicates that this lifecycle method is going to execute. Once execution of all the test cases is completed, then finally this method is going to execute. One thing you'll have to keep in mind, method which is annotated as at after all and at before all should be static, else you'll get the runtime exception, right? Now let me show you test method. So I have three test methods. So here you can see a method which basically try to perform addition of two positive numbers. So you can see the test method name. So this is just passing two numbers and getting back the addition of these two numbers, right? And I'm using assert equals. There I'm passing basically expected result, and this is my actual result. If both are same, then this assertion is going to be true, right? And test case will be passed. Similarly, we have another test case which is basically trying to add two negative numbers, right? And doing the same stuff like assert equals, that is comparing expected and actual result. And similarly, we have another test case which is basically adding one positive number and another and one negative number, and that is again comparing expected and actual result using assert equals, right? But here in these all test cases, what I have done, let me show you. Here I am using assumptions, right? So of course this can be, here I am accessing this method uh, using this class, because this is a static method. If you look into this, is a static method. So even if you want, you can statically you can import this method, right? Something like this, right? So you have to do the static import for this. Similarly, I'm using assumption over here, so that I can do static import. And of course there is one more, we can do the static import here as well, right? Instead of accessing through the class, right? And we can press Ctrl Shift O for organize import. Yeah, so here you can see this basically these these assumptions assume false and assume true. This is available in the this assumptions class. If you go to the assumptions class, we press Ctrl O. Here you can see a couple of method, right? Assume true and assume false. So there are a lot of assume true assume true is overloaded methods, many overloaded methods with different parameters, right? And similarly another method is assume false with different parameters, basically overloaded method, right? So there are two methods basically in this class, but different overloaded versions are available, right? Now let's come to this test class. So here in test class, what I'm doing in system, I'm setting environment variable env and value as a div, and now I'm using assume true, right? In assume true, what I'm doing, just I'm getting value of this environment. If that is the div, then I would like to continue execute this test case. That's the significance of assume true, right? Second test case, here you can see in environment value env value I'm setting as a prod, right? And here and assume true, what I'm checking, if div equals to system dot get property, if env value is coming as div, then I would like to basically execute rest of the code, right? If that is not the case, right, if that is going to be false, then this message is going to display, right? So this is nothing but the test execution is failed, something like this, right? So this is basically this is the replacement of basically lambda expression, that is nothing but the method reference, right? Now similarly I am doing, so here in two test cases I have used assume true, right? So if assume true returns true, then rest of the rest of the test case will be executed, else test is going to abort, right? So here in env I am setting div, right? So this is going to be true, right? Then this test case we are expected to be executed successfully. Now next thing, in this test, if you see div equals system dot get env, that will return prod. So rest of the code is going to, this is going to be return false, right? So this message is going to print as a basically a test output, right? And rest of the code will be basically this test will be aborted. And similarly, if you look into one more test method is there, right? And so yeah, So here env we are setting as a dev, so this is going to be true. So rest of the, I think I mean to say this test is executed successfully, but here env we are setting as a prod, but we are checking for the dev, but so this is not going to execute, this method is not going to execute, so this test method will be aborted. Similarly env value we are setting as a dev, right, and dev so this here we are using, instead of assume true we are using assume false, but this guy is going to return true, right, because value we are setting as a dev, so instead of false it is going to return as true. So rest of this test method will be aborted, right, and this message will be printed, right, what message we are setting over here, that will be printing, right. So let's run this test case and see what's the output. So I'm going to run dar class, and here you can see the output. So if I go to the JUnit, then here you can see there is only one test method is executed, right. So this test method is executed because this assume true is going to return true, but these two test method is aborted. So if you look into this, then this is basically not going to return true, right, because env value we are setting as a prod, but we are checking for the dev, so this test method is aborted. And here you can see the sign, it is aborted, means it is not executed because assume true is going to return false, right. Now if you look into the next where next test method, where again we have used basically assume false, but this guy is returning assume true, right, and here you can see message is coming, test execution is failed, something like that, right, if you look into this. And for this also test execution is aborted, so message is coming, test execution is failed, right. So if test execution is failed, then this message is going to display. So guys, this is the assumptions in JUnit 5, and based on the certain condition you can basically judge whether test cases has to be executed or aborted, right, and that's the use of assumptions in JUnit 5. Assumptions is the class where we have a utility method, two utility method, assume true and assume false with overloaded version, right. So that's all I wanted to discuss in this video tutorial. As far as this source code concerned, this source code I am going to post on my blog kkjavatutorials.com, and link I will provide in the video description. Guys, big thank you for watching this video, and see you there in the next video tutorial.